research for people battling memory loss. A new clinical study is reversing the signs of it. This brings hope to people battling Alzheimer's. Dr. Sandison, we are going to talk all about memory care today, and it's an exciting conversation. This has been a sensitive conversation in the past because a lot of people feel hopeless, but you have done incredible work to change that narrative. Tell us what you've discovered.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really exciting and such a privilege to work with my patients. What I was seeing in my clinical practice was that people would come to me with dementia, and some even with diagnosed cases of Alzheimer's. And I had been told for so much of my career that there was nothing we could do for these patients. However, my mentor, Dr. Dale Bredesen, had published a few case series, examples of patients in clinics who had been helped and actually reversed their memory decline. And so when I got his training, I started using that approach in my clinical practice, and I saw that more often than not, my patients did improve their cognitive abilities. And so that inspired me to do some research, and we recently published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, just in August of 2023, the results of that trial.
What did you find, and what can we all do to help you with your research?
You're absolutely right. Alzheimer's is a very complex disease, and historically we've kind of had this approach that hopefully we can find this one thing, one molecule, one pill or one IV that we can give patients and they'll get better. Unfortunately, over the past 20, 30 years, that approach hasn't played out very well. We still don't have a lot of hope that a single molecule intervention is going to help. But what we have done is taken a complex approach looking at all of the different pathways that can cause dementia and Alzheimer's.
So many people have struggled with this for years, and people don't really know how to start the conversation with a loved one. We're going to get into that in a second, but locally, you have a facility in North County, in Vista, where you're working with families. Tell us what's happening there.
Yeah, so Marama is the residential care facility I created for elderly folks who are suffering with memory loss. And I did this because what I saw in my clinical practice was that those who could make the lifestyle changes, they could eat the healthy diet and they could get the exercise and they could really prioritize their sleep and manage their stressors, they were the ones who got better. And yet we all live very busy lives, and oftentimes there's a daughter, an adult daughter of a parent who's suffering with memory loss, who is juggling her family, you know, her kids and her work and her house and her marriage. And the thought of putting aside everything to help her parent, although she wants to, she just doesn't have the bandwidth. And so many people were asking us, hey, is there somewhere I can place my loved one where they can be, even temporarily, where they get an immersive experience in this, where it's just kind of done for us. And so that was what inspired me to create Marama, were these questions coming from patients and their families and their loved ones. And it's been amazing and really exciting to create this sort of oasis for someone with memory loss, where they can come and have the community built in, and everything they do throughout the day, from sunrise to sunset, is really designed to help support their brain health.
And as much as you want to take that burden off of somebody's plate by coming to work with you, you do want to empower people. Your website is amazing. There's resources there, conversation guides, healthy eating tips. Where can we get more information and start this conversation at home?
Yeah, so maramaexperience.com is the website where you can download a conversation guide. But this is a really hopeful time for those who are getting older, because there is so much we can do. And what we see over and over again in my clinical practice and at Marama as well, is that the sooner we intervene, when we first start to notice that we're having trouble coming up with that name or remembering where we put our keys in ways that we wouldn't have a decade ago, that is when we want to start this intervention. That is when we want to start making these really important lifestyle decisions.
All right, wonderful. Dr. Heather Sandison, thank you so much.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you.